Welcome back to some more Truth on the Trail. Joel chapter 2, end time prophecy coming true right before our eyes. Whoa! It's happening, people. Right now the trail is taking me through Westerville, Ohio, which happens to be the next place for the Democratic National Presidential Debate, which is happening in about an hour and a half, an hour. So somehow I'm stuck in the midst of this. Although I did see a pretty cool dude with a huge box truck with a sign on it that said something to the effect of, I don't know, we love Trump and drain the swamp. So a lot of people here, a lot of things happening. But what's even bigger than the Democratic National Presidential Debate in Westerville, Ohio, is Joel chapter 2 is coming true. We're talking thousands of years of prophecy coming true right before our eyes. And I want to share a cool story about how this is happening right now. And this story is about a man that has since went to be with the Lord. And this man was very dear to me. He was really a father to me. He was my grandfather. He was a Methodist minister and had many miraculous interventions in his life that God had brought about. But there was one particular interaction that he had that was very notable. And I did not learn about this until later on in his life. And if I were to describe my grandfather throughout his life, he was probably not what you would call a charismatic in any way. Did he believe that miracles still happen? Yeah. Did he believe in all the gifts and all that stuff? I don't know. He was a very conservative Methodist pastor. That was kind of where he landed at. And he did preach the gospel. But as far as seeing miracles, visions, dreams, all this stuff, Joel chapter 2 wasn't something that normally came up as far as what things he would preach. But Joel chapter 2 tells us that in the end times, it says, in those last days, that the Spirit of God would be poured out on all flesh, that sons and daughters would prophesy, and that old men would dream dreams, and young men see visions. And so this was a powerful prophecy that is coming true today. And actually, a cool way I'm getting ready to tell you came true in my grandfather's life. Now, I tell you a little bit about his perspective upon the supernatural world, and that it was very conservative because he was a guy that did not talk a whole lot about miracle stuff. He didn't bring it up. He didn't really do a lot of teaching on it that I know of, and but I tell you that because this was he was a humble guy, and this was a guy that was not a liar. He wasn't a guy that was one to lie. So when he told me about this story, I found out that really only a couple people knew about it. He didn't tell anybody, and that was common for him. He would have these miraculous situations, and he didn't necessarily tell anybody. If that was between him and the Lord, it was between him and the Lord. So we'll rewind back to a place that was late. Oh, this is cool. Right in the middle. Yeah, Trump. That was so cool. Yes, Trump. Anyway, sorry. Oh, that was so funny. Anyway, so we're going to rewind, all right? So we'll rewind, I would say, Grandpa's back in his 50s somewhere. Well, younger than that. Maybe somewhere around that time. So, he's earlier in his life, okay? And he gets, there's planes flying and everything, there's jets, and there's Secret Service, and man, this is pretty cool, man. I feel like a super spy. Alright, so getting out of the Democratic presidential kind of stay with what the Bible said. And so some things happened, and he felt like he was supposed to take a break from ministry, and he felt like maybe ministry wasn't quite what, where he was supposed to land at. So he took some time, and he got involved in business. He got into a business venture with some guys, and man, things started going good, and it was kind of this new endeavor, and things started taking off, and it was kind of a cool thing. I think they started making money, and so it was kind of this new business endeavor, and he was partnered up with these couple other guys. Long story short, these guys jumped ship and they let him hold the bag. And my grandpa, being a good man, and he wanted to do right by people, he realized these people had ripped him off, and they let him hold the bag of managing the accounts of many, many people, and the money that the people expected to be there wasn't there. And these guys had really gypped him in this business deal. And so he was very distraught by this. I mean, his desire was, to see people restored, see people successful, do well in life, and here he was holding the bag, at the wrong end of the stick of this whole thing, and he didn't know what he was going to do. So he asked a trusted friend, what should I do? And he said, why don't you go down to Cincinnati and you talk to these couple guys, and they might be able to help you out in this situation. They have some wisdom about this stuff. So on his way down, it looked like nothing was going to work out right. And so he took my uncle down with him, which he was just a teenager at that time. They stayed at a hotel on their trip there. And during that time, my uncle said, hey, Dad, I'm going to go for a little bowl. We're going to do some bowling in this place next door. And so Grandpa went, laid down on the bed, turned out all the lights, and he laid down because he just couldn't quite handle the stress of to do anything else. And that was very common for my grandfather, is that a lot of his prayer came about as he would lay on his bed at night. And so he did that. He laid down, he just began to pray, and was just very distressed and stressed out by this situation. And all of a sudden, again, Joel 2, dreams, visions, okay? All of a sudden, he felt this presence in the room with him. And he opened up, he knew something powerful was in the room, and he said the room began to illuminate. It was very dark. Okay? It was very dark. And so the room began to illuminate, and as the room illuminated, he looked up and he saw a man, literally a man standing there, and he was dressed in robes, and he could not make out like who he was or anything, and he had a hood over his head, but he knew that this was a powerful person. And it was kind of a blurry image, but there was a light, and there was a man in white standing there. And he was struck fearful by the situation. But all of a sudden, he just got this strong sense of God speaking. And he just got this powerful sense of peace and God saying everything is going to be okay. And then the vision left. And all of a sudden he had just this peace about, and this incredible encounter with what seemed to be an angel, a messenger of God. And so as things played out, some days went by. Some people actually were able to help remedy a situation, and almost all at once, what happened was the issue was able to be resolved. The situation got worked out with all the people's accounts, and all the people's accounts, and all of a sudden he felt a call back to ministry. It was almost like a sign, like you need to not be in business, you need to be a minister of my gospel, which I called you to do. And almost instantly, another ministry opportunity in a church opened up. Somebody called him and said, hey, we need a pastor here. And everything just fell back into line. And he heard God's call again to get back into the church and be a pastor. And so all of that moment, God brought the breakthrough. And he gave us a crazy, powerful vision. And the awesome thing is that, my grandpa, he never really even told anybody about this. Like, if he saw an angel that, there's only like a couple people that knew this, and he had told me a little bit later on in his life, he did the nursing home and everything. And I just thought, man, what a powerful thing that Joel 2 is coming true, right? And it's exciting to me to think, hey, if I'm in trouble, if I'm distraught, I can go to the Lord with my troubles, with my pain, with my issues, and I can seek the Lord's face and he will answer. It could be through his word. We talked about this before. It could be through anything, but man, God could show up in a vision of an angel, and he still does that stuff. And I think, Grandpa didn't really tell anybody, because of rather conservative, but wow, there's more miracle things that really happened in his life than some of the charismatic people I know. But what a powerful thing, that God is still alive and he's awake. There is a real spiritual world that is going on all around us, of good and evil. And that war is happening all around you. And there are angels around you. There are demons around you. And this is happening. And in the midst of all that, God is wanting to reach out and to connect with you and me. And to think we have an impact on all that. We can pray. We can obey God's word. And we can literally change the fabric and the substance of the matrix that is the spiritual realm around us. That actually spills out into reality. And man, that's awesome. So that's exciting. That's a little truth on the trail. All right. Okay. The prophecy's coming true.